Okay, I'm live. Here, recording. Hello, this is Jason. I'm trying out a new setup where I'm going through my nice mic, recording on the Osmo Pocket 3. So just trying a new setup that maybe looks a little bit better, but maybe I'll put like some like pastoral background or something back there so you can see me do my thing. Anyway, just posted a video about an experience I had at Noah's Bagel. And, I don't know, it's funny because a lot of times I post these videos, like, all my, like, recipe videos, all the different, like, insane things I do, the ranting I do online, and I feel like I'm pushing everything into a void, like, just throwing it out into the void, and, I don't realize actually people watch it. And, maybe that's why I just keep on making the videos because I don't understand. If I knew that people were watching my videos, maybe I wouldn't make a lot of the videos I make. But anyway, I was at a Noah's Bagel in Burbank, and I wasn't there. I was, like, on the street, and I had some coffee, and I had about 20 minutes to kill, and I just took some medicine, so I'm like, "Okay, I gotta eat something." And so I popped into the bagel store. I usually don't go to, chain bagels. There's, like, a couple of, like, cool bagel places I go in my neighborhood. There's one called Hank's, it's really amazing. Hello, welcome, by the way. We're live. Bonjour. Anyway, so I go to this place, Noah's Bagels, which is known for having okay bagels, for an institution. I think they're also connected with Einstein. It's the same ownership group. They bake the bagels on the spot. Um, in an institutional place. They might be also connected with Panera. Like I think the same group owns Panera. Big corporate situation. Anyway, I go in there and there wasn't a lot of people. It was early in the morning. And I'm like, to the guy in the front, register, I'm like, yeah, I'd like a bagel. And I was looking around, did they have Bialy? He said no. And then I'm like, do you have vegan cream cheese? And he's like, no, we don't have vegan cream cheese. And I'm like, really? Like, it's like 2026, man. No vegan cream cheese. And I kind of go on and on about I kind of rant about it. I'm like a big corporate place like this doesn't have vegan cream cheese. Like, what's the deal? And then I'm looking around. I'm like, okay, I'll just give me this like this plain bagel. It's fine. And then the guy behind the counter is like, I really a big fan of your content, Veganhackspod. I watch it all the time with my wife. She's a vegan, I'm vegetarian. We get a lot of great recipe ideas. I'm like, I just like ranted to this guy about like not having vegan cream cheese. He knew exactly who I was, like a whole situation. And I'm like, this is such an absurd moment. And he was a really nice guy, looks like, the demographic of the Vegan Hacks Pod follower, like way cooler than me, younger, cool tattoos, kind of alt style guy. And but it was just kind of funny. And but it was like in some ways it's a little humbling and also understanding that there's a situation where I guess I'm a public figure kinda in a very niche, weird internet way, like, I guess in the vegan background, I'm a public figure, and people know who I am, and they know and so, sometimes I don't even know, like, what type of situation it is, Someone comes up to me, they're just like, "Hey, man, here's your hat," or you drop something. Like, I think that it's gonna be a celebrity interaction sometimes. So, yeah, I don't know. It's weird because I did not sign up for this. Anyway, so yeah, that's my celebrity interaction situation. A lot of bagels aren't vegan because they're boiled with water with honey in it. I think that's a thing that they do in, Canada, especially. Like, there's a bagel place called Courage Bagels that boils their bagels in honey, and it's like this kind of, fancy schmancy place. In fact, I remember a lot of vegans were talking about, like, there's this new bagel place, it's Montreal Burnt Bagels, and, so, I went there and I tried it before I knew that they actually boiled them in honey because I avoid honey. But again, just because I tried something that had honey in it or was made with honey doesn't make me stop being vegan. It's just had to do with me. If I had known, like it's like knowledge is the key to doing what we're doing. So yeah, but yeah, so Courage Bagels is like this trendy place, and then once I realized that they boiled them in honey, I don't promote them, I don't go get Courage Bagels. But most of the time I do my research. That was like a time when a lot of vegan, influencers were posting about Courage Bagels, so I assumed like, "Oh, a lot of vegan people are enjoying these bagels, I'll go ahead and I'll try them." But I don't know, more and more I'm doing research, especially when it comes to, something that's as simple as bagels, and if I'm driving consumers or customers to these places, I want them to have fully vegan experience. Let there be sound. Audio is cutting out in and out, big dog. Audio's fine here. Maybe it's your internet access, big dog. Thoughts on Dr. Vegan? Really loving his crossover appeal. I don't know who that is. Should I know? It was so funny. I've been doing all these videos with waffling, and I saw this, like, it's a family, they're all in I'm not sure what they're like, they do everything in Spanish. I'm not sure what country they're from, but it's like kids making videos and they're vegan. And they showed a little clip of one of my waffling videos and they were making all sorts of different waffle recipes. And it was just really cute. And and honestly, I wanted to talk about why I make waffle videos because a lot of people wonder why, other than being like a total hype beast and trying to get internet acclaim, trying to reach people, with, you know, interesting graphic videos. That's one reason. You wanna make your grandpa's creation, it's falafels. It's falafel mix and waffles instead of I've falafeled waffles, and I've used waffle mix. See, I've been making stuff in my mini waffle maker for, I would say, a good 4 years, 4 or 5 years, and it was even back before I even showed my face, like, I would just show my hands, and you get my voice, and I would just make waffles, and you would never see my face or smiling or biting the waffle. I was too embarrassed to show it. But I feel like something that gives people comfort, like a small ec uh, like a accessory or item that a kitchen item that a lot of people have, and it's like a cheap thing. It's not something that's super expensive. It's not expensive, kind of, it's an item that pretty much a lot of people have a mini waffle maker. You can get it for 15 bucks at the Target, or, you can get a hand-me-down. Go to the thrift store, get one for like 3 bucks. I don't know. I found them on the dollar table at the swap meet. Anyway, I just feel that showing that you can cook like something interesting or fun or unique in a waffle maker, I feel like is something that is compelling. It's something that's universal, regardless of whether or not I'm vegan or not. And I don't want to 100% reach. I do like and enjoy providing comfort and entertainment for vegans, but I want to reach people that are not vegan too. And so a lot of times my waffle videos are a way that I can connect with people that are not vegan because these videos sometimes go viral. They inspire other people to make, waffle videos, whatever, but I also too, it's an easy and quick way to make a video. And I mean, if you're interested in making, food content, I recommend, doing a waffle video because it's something also too that people watch from beginning to end, because they want to end up seeing the final thing at the end. And then I think that that's part of being successful on the internet is retention, being able to have people watch a video, not just the first video and scroll, but give them something provocative. He's not really going to waffle Chinese leftovers. Well, yes, he is. And what is it going to turn into? Is it going to be, this and that? And then also the fact that my channel is called Vegan Hacks allows me to show things that a fancy channel, I don't know, you know, Gauze Oatly or whatever, some of these fancy people, they have to show fancy stuff. Everything has to look nice, and I don't have to do that. I'm a hack, I'm just trying things out, I'm learning, I'm discovering with you. So it allows me to be a lot sloppier and maybe show something or show a failure. I remember there was one video where I know that people waffle plantains, but I was waffling a banana and it just became a mess. And then I ended up showing like a banana bread recipe. A lot of times too is I will put a subliminal uh like content within my waffle video. So I'll show, you know, me making like, I don't know, waffle with a scallion pancake, but I'll also present a really good like Asian sauce recipe, and that shows a lot of balance. So that as a recipe that you could, dip your vegan dumplings in and different things. So or maybe, like I did a banana thing, I did a banana bread recipe. So I will support the viral weirdness with actual content that works. And then sometimes the waffle stuff really really works well. Like recently I did a video where I recently posted it where I waffled this rice paper bagel, which basically is a rice paper dumpling, and it got really crispy and good. And so you can actually waffling rice paper, in a dumpling form is actually a viable way to make a crispy kind of dumpling kind of experience. So yeah, I think that that's cool that that you can make interesting stuff with the waffle maker, and then also it's easy content, and also too, I think about when I'm making these videos, I think about someone who is vegan or interested in being vegan or interested in using trying plant-based foods, that's like a college student in a dorm, someone that doesn't have a lot of resources, but getting a waffle maker, that's something that you can do. And then I remember there was one, and so I feel that I'm showing an accessible way to make something that's fun and interesting and unique and plant-based if you don't have a lot of resources. Recently, um, late last year, I was at this event and I was in this hotel that had not a lot of vegan options, but they had a big waffle maker, and I was able to make an oatmeal waffle from all of my experiences as not only do I promote the weirdness, but I live the weirdness and make all this stuff too. Okay, let me see what I'm missing here. Let there be sound. Audio is cutting in and out, big dog. Okay, let's see. Can you waffle tofu seeds? Yeah, sure. Why not? Tofu. I've waffled tofu. Great to see you live. Not a vegan, but enjoy your work. You've been eating more vegan meals. Great. You got to find yourself a waffle maker. Yeah, yeah. Go to, I don't know, get one secondhand. It's kind of fun to do that. I'm drinking some iced coffee that in a recycled container. So how are you guys? I'm back live. I've been posting some videos. What What's your favorite thing that you've waffled? I mean, I feel like my favorite waffle stuff is the stuff that I transform. Like something that I wouldn't and honestly, sometimes I don't even know that it's going to turn into what it's gonna turn into. So I'm always like something that surprises me. Um I mean, I've gotten to a point too where, like, I know, like, something starchy, it's oiled right, like a potato is definitely gonna turn into something cool. I feel like the most interesting stuff too was things like people were complaining about, having trouble making vegan eggs. I show a lot of different vegan egg recipes, like, I'll show mung bean eggs, I'll show you chickpea eggs, and there is a little bit of a learning curve on how to cook them. And so I got to a point where it's like, what if I just put it in the waffle maker? What if I just pour the batter in the waffle maker? Will I make a egg waffle? And yeah, it literally works. It did, and so people that were complaining, oh, it's so hard to make vegan eggs, it's so difficult to, well, just pour it in the waffle maker. Give it some time, and then you'll have something that's solid, and you can scramble that and turn it into scramble, if you don't wanna eat it in waffle form. But yeah, so I think that, things that will help people, um, get to a point where they're, maybe more confident with their cooking. I make mistakes too, and sometimes it's kind of fun having a waffle maker because, sometimes a waffle maker will smooth out the mistakes, smooth out all those issues. Been vegan for 10 years, watch you all the time. Thank you, appreciate it. Could you have one if I can only have one only, stovetop oven, microwave. You forgot air fryer. I would pick the air fryer. I feel like the air fryer again, I did a whole bunch of series, I've been doing this for like 6 years, and I like on TikTok and all these, and when I started on TikTok for many years, and, I had waffle series where I waffle a bunch of things, and I also had air fryer series, and I really enjoy using the air fryer. I feel like that's a great, fun little thing that you can make all sorts of interesting foods with, and, I've had a lot of fun making things with air fryers, making even getting your leftovers crispy. I recently got a new air fryer, and I have, like, mixed emotions about it. I bought it at Costco, and I'm not sure, it's a Ninja Crispy, and, I don't know, I'm still adapting to using it, and, I don't really wanna advertise it because I'm not super crazy about it, but I don't know, I went on YouTube and someone was raving about how great it was, so I don't know. But I know there are some much better ones, but, this one was like, I don't know, it wasn't too expensive, and it came with all these different, attachment, um, bottoms that you can, like, kind of switch out, so, and it does the job, it's just I'm not super comfortable with it. I prefer those little, like, bottom loading, top loading ones with the handle, the old school ones. Also too, I mean, I when I make videos, I don't wanna advertise a corporation, so I've been figuring out interesting ways to show that I'm air frying something without showing the brand name. Haven't tried your vegan scrambled recipes, but it looks like Just Egg Liquid, which is an excellent product. Yeah, is a Costco membership worth it? I mean, depends on what your situation is. I mean, depends on, I mean, if you get, like, the executive membership, they give you, like, 1% back. So if you make big purchases, you get a little bit of a discount. Uh, it depends on the area you're in. I mean, there's a lot of, places around where I am, they have a lot of vegan options. Less and less, though. Um, it really depends. I mean, I think that Costco's better than a lot of the, like Walmart. Just depends on where you are, and depends on what your Costco has, and depends on your situation, and if you'd like to buy in bulk. I prefer not to buy in bulk, but, I have a membership. I don't know. I mean, I also feel like because I'm on the front line of the food business, I need to be aware of what's at Costco and all these other places, and I mean, sometimes it's fun. I mean, if you like the experience, I mean, I don't particularly like being in a pushy, shovey place with all sorts of people everywhere. Uh, but I do, I like the experience of, oh, they're sampling something that's plant-based, I remember back in the day, I used to go there and, like, get a whole meal with samples. Also, too, I think the only thing at Costco that's plant-based right now is their smoothie. They used to have, like, an acai bowl, they used to have a salad, I'm talking about at their little cafe thing. If you're not vegan, I think Costco definitely has a lot more, charms, a lot more, especially if you want a cheap hot dog, I don't know. What's cooler is going to, IKEA, where they actually have 2 different plant-based hot dog options, and they're super cheap. They're like, less than $1 each. You love the idea of using rice paper to hold the omelet together. I can't remember for sure if I saw it on my channel or somewhere else. Yes, you saw it on my channel. Um, However, that was actually the rice paper hack came from a couple of things. One thing was, again, people were complaining about having trouble cooking the vegan egg recipe, like either mung bean or chickpea flour egg, and they were saying it's too hard, or they were complaining. Oh, I remember. They were complaining that the chickpea egg used too much oil. So I thought about it and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. You don't have to use any oil at all. If you use rice paper, you can pour the vegan egg on the rice paper, heat it up that way, and then you don't have to use oil. But that's actually based on a Vietnamese dish called bang Truong Nuong, mispronounced terribly, but it's called Vietnamese pizza, and it's basically a recipe where they take a rice paper, crack a real egg on the rice paper, and then they add seasonings and I don't know, sausage and all sorts of things. So I was making a vegan version of that dish with the rice paper down, vegan egg, etc. So it's sort of reverse engineering that Vietnamese dish. I mean, I'm basically copying it, not even reverse engineering it. I'm making something very similar, but making it vegan. But so that was the basis. But then I was like, okay, well, let's make it into an omelet and use omelet toppings and use vegan egg and use vegan cheese and make it into a standard omelet. And then a lot of other influencers see my content. They jump on it and they do it too. I see it all the time. I'm not a lot. Sometimes I am the originator. Sometimes I'm someone who's inspired by other people. But since I'm not a chef and since I do a lot of experimenting with vegan eggs, a lot of times my vegan egg recipes find their way to other influencer people. How did you decide to waffle everything model? It's not really a model. It's just another. I feel like my content constantly changes all the time. Uh, but I do feel that when I run out of ideas, a lot of times I'll throw something in the waffle maker. Or when I'm trying to make something fresh or something unique, I'll throw it in the waffle maker. I mean, in some ways it's a curse because I'll come up with like an amazing recipe and I'm like, okay, this is great, chili relleno, and I made it with aquafaba and it's beautiful and it's delicious. And then all of a sudden, the comments are waffle it now. What's wrong with you? You didn't waffle it. They're expecting me to waffle absolutely everything. But I mean, today I did a skit, where I talk, which is based on a real life incident. So I do all sorts of different things with content. I mean, I feel like my channel is about vegan lifestyle, is about mindful eating. It's not a health channel, but I'll do healthy food too. But I'll do junk food too. So I'm basically the spectrum of veganism, from accessible junk food to accidentally vegan stuff to making your own food. I mean, it's just me. It's what I do. It's my life. And that's my content, the waffle thing is unique, embrace it. It's unique and it's not unique because everyone does it, you know? I got to a point where I got kinda depressed because I was seeing a lot of my content or what things that I was doing, so many people were doing it, and I'm like, "Ah, it's not interesting anymore," you know? In fact, I made a video about it where I was ranting about it, like, it's not, there's a bunch of influencers out there, and they're waffling potatoes like they discovered fire. And that video actually kinda took off, like, on a couple of platforms, like, because it was just kind of funny that, I'm reacting to, something that I helped inspire. I mean, I did not invent waffling things. I mean, I'm sure there was many of a YouTube channel years ago where people were waffling all sorts of nonsensical things. I mean, I feel that recently a lot of the videos that have come out, I've popularized, the waffle especially the use of, I feel like the use of a mini waffle maker, because I feel like there's something like just, I don't know, dank about using a mini waffle maker. Like, you waffle it down, stuff falls over the edges. It's just graphically, the waffle maker in the center. It's just good for social media. It's just visually, it's just a great social media thing. And then, as I said before, people watch a waffle maker video from beginning to end because they want to know what it turned into. So that's always something that's fun. But I do think that it has its limits. Oh, I've been testing its limits many times. Love your top character voice for those shorts. So, yeah, thank you. Some people don't like it. I get complaints all the time about my voice. Got complaints all the time about they don't like the way I sound. Uh, just, and maybe they don't understand my, I mean, Mike, if someone says, "I hate the way you talk, you're annoying," I'm like, "Dude, you don't have to follow my content." You know, I can see that if they don't like me, but they like my content or they like the subject matter. I don't know, but just mute me. I don't know, or block me. I feel like my comments to people that are critical of my delivery or my vocal delivery, I mean, it's taken me this far so far, is just don't follow me. I have enough people that follow my content and enjoy my content, and I'm not changing. I mean, it really depends. I mean, I feel also too that I'm channeling a form of excitement, and it's just part of what my content is. It's part of the whole Vegan Hacks Pod experience, like it or not. And if they want to strip me away from the emotion or what I do vocally, then they just want me to be just like everybody else, and I feel like I'm different, and I need to embrace that quality because that's what makes my content unique, is just my voice, the fact that I'm a middle-aged guy doing this, the fact that I'm, doing kinda off the chain crazy stuff. Anything else? Is this the vegan Mr. Beast? Maybe, I don't know. I need to, what do I need to do to be the vegan Mr. Beast? Um, Maybe give out tofu? That would be it. Maybe that would be a good skit where I'm the vegan Mr. Beast, and here's a block of tofu. Don't plants have life too? It's all about sentient characters, sentient creatures. I mean, I don't know if you're a hunter or what you are, or you middle schooler, whatever you are, but yeah, we just want to be the best we can to sentient beings being vegan. But there's people that are vegan for a lot of different reasons. Some people are vegan for health. Some people are vegan because of their spiritual beliefs. and some people are vegan for the animals. Are you in the doomsday bunker now? I feel like I am. I need to make another, series of those videos. My apologies for not doing it, but, well, it'll come soon. Love your smile and your excitement when you find a new vegan restaurant. Yeah, no, I love discovering new places, and I feel bad that, some of those places are inaccessible to a lot of people because, we're, I'm here in LA, but, when you visit, there's some great places and I definitely love supporting, small vegan businesses. I think more and more people need to try, some incredible food, and I only talk about the places I love. I don't talk about I sometimes I'll have a meal that doesn't excite me or resonate with me, and I won't make a video. I won't post about it. I'll only post about the stuff I love. So I'm the places that I post about are Veganhackspod approved. You seem like you visit a lot of Asian places. Did you take a trip to the Asian country, or are these places near where you live? Okay, yeah, so I did it last year. I made a trip to Japan, and it was really interesting experience, and I definitely want to do more of that. That's another thing that I need to do. I need to do more traveling. But the one wonderful thing about Los Angeles is it's a multicultural place, and there's all sorts of really interesting, amazing people here that from all sorts of different places. And so you can have El Salvadorian pupusas that are so authentically and beautifully made. You can go to a place and get extremely authentic Filipino food. There are places that make amazing, Vietnamese food, Japanese food, and because of the Buddhist tradition of a lo or amazing Indian food too. Because of the Buddhist tradition of a lot of these places, well, I mean, because of because of the Buddhist tradition, there are way more Asian options. And, I've been really enjoying my experiences in Westminster, going to markets, going to, bakeries, and going to places where they have, vegetarian and all vegan, menus. And, because it's a norm for them. It's not an aberration like it is in some, circles in American culture. In fact, most people in Little Saigon eat vegan the 1st and the 15th. They eat it to purify their soul. So, and then, or a lot of people might eat vegan if they're, suffering a loss, and then a lot of people that are Buddhist obviously eat vegan or vegetarian as well. So, it's baked within the culture, and if it's baked within the culture, the food is better. The food is more thoughtful. There's just more effort. I mean, I do feel that though that there are vegan creators here too that are not in the Buddhist tradition that make amazing food too, and I'm always seeking them out and shouting them out as well. You inspired me to shop at Trader Joe's. Now your favorite grocery stores to shop at. Oh, yeah. I hope that Trader Joe's is offering more vegan options. Recently, I saw a post about some new vegan items at Trader Joe's, and they're all like sugary snacks and salty snacks. I think there's like a curry potato chip, um, chocolate covered corn, like crispy corn, and then some other thing, but they have just they're just introducing a lot of snacks right now because they want to push out products that have, like, a high profit margin, and, a lot of their, like, vegan cheeses and their, plant-based, I don't know, proteins have been, uh, discontinued. Maybe they're not as profitable. It's you're definitely working with a corporation, but I do think that Trader Joe's is a place where you can get some good, like, frozen plant-based stuff. The prices aren't out of hand, and, there's one down the street from me, so I always go there and see what's out there, and I that's another, I feel like, accessibility situation where if someone is plant-based curious, they can get into eating plant-based if there's a Trader Joe's in their area. There's some tofu, they sell tofu, they sell a lot of things that, maybe their, grocery store down the street doesn't have. Here in Houston is a multicultural community. You have a lot of Asian and Indian restaurants that would and that will happily make food for you. Yeah, no, that it's great when yeah, the Vietnamese community, that definitely like when you go to a pho place, a lot of times there'll be a vegan pho that they'll offer. There's always something on the menu usually that they can make for you. They understand. That's the other thing is like a lot of times you go to a Western place, even here in LA, and they don't understand what being vegan is. They don't. So it's like explaining to them, like, oh, yeah, no dairy, no this. There's always a confusion. What's vegan and what's vegetarian? I'm sure it's even more extreme in other places in the United States. But is it vegan really? The thing about being vegan, are you like trolling or something? Um, but the thing about being vegan is doing your best and always learning and, thoughtful eating, being concerned about your choices. Been experimenting with vegan versions of Mexican food. Sometimes it's difficult to find vegan-friendly, Mexican restaurants. Yeah, the nice thing about a lot of Mexican places is that there are, a lot of, gluten-free. So if you're, wanna work with, like, taking out gluten from your diet, things like that, that's awesome. And, corn tortillas obviously are gluten-free. Um, you just have to ask questions and, like, how are the beans prepared? How is the rice prepared? A lot of homestyle places will cook things in chicken stock. Some of the salsas, they put chicken stock in. So yeah, you just have to be forever vigilant and understand. And I mean, here's the thing about being vegan. More and more, you just have to learn how to cook for yourself because that's or food prep or unless you live in a city center where there's just a lot of people that can support that our lifestyle. You just have to cook for yourself, and that's just the way it is. It's just, I mean, to me, it's fun. I mean, I enjoy exploring and enjoying cooking for myself, and a lot of times I prefer cooking for myself because I make stuff that I feel like tastes better than whatever I can get at the store, and I can make a delicious, I don't know, restaurant style salsa and. I can even make my own vegan cheese and create my own vegan proteins with seitan. Also, too, what's cool at some vegan uh, Latino markets is they have soy chunks that you can make vegan meat from, and there's ways. There's all sorts of interesting recipes. You just have to take the time to learn and then take the time to execute them. What's your favorite vegan dish? Your might be vegan, spinach lasagna. Yeah, I mean, it would have to be like a banh mi, like some kinda there's a place that makes in Westminster that makes their own vegan protein, this, like, lemongrass steak banh mi. I mean, tofu, like fried tofu, there's another place that's, like, a mile away that makes, lemongrass chili tofu, and, that's incredible, I like certain things, that are relatively simple, but not that don't involve a lot of preparation, um, and I constantly am, blown away. Recently I had an incredible chile relleno burrito. I'm gonna do a video about it. And that's, great home cooking. Anyway, I'm gonna go now. This was fun. I've done enough. I was trying to I basically did this live because I wanted to see if my microphone camera setup worked so I could do lives and a more, relaxed manner so I'm not going through my phone. It was so funny. Somebody was angry with me because was using my phone and I guess I was doing it portrait, and they're like, "Put your phone the right way. Don't do it the long way. What? I thought you were a camera person." I'm like, it was portrait." Anyway, so, I mean, it's YouTube. Maybe I'll do this, like, widescreen thing. Love your videos. Thank you. Use chickpea flour for your chili relleno burrito. Very crispy. Yeah, I do. In fact, I recently did a chickpea flour aquafaba jalapeno relleno, but I wanna do a chili relleno. But yeah, I had an incredible, chili relleno burrito that you guys are going to learn about in my what if not this video, next video, the one after that or so. But, there's a, really amazing creator, Viva Vegan Tacos, and they're based in, like, I think they're, like, the Riverside area, so they don't get to the Southland, SoCal that often. But when they do, I make sure that I jump on their food, and, they make a good, vegan quesadilla with jackfruit, meat, like a and it's incredible, it's the birria with the consommé, and it's incredible. Anyway, and I had that, and they had a incredible chili relleno burrito on the menu. And I remember back before I was vegan many, many years ago, really enjoying chili relleno burritos. It's kind of an inception thing. It's something wrapped in something, wrapped in something. It's just there's a vibe there that just works for me. And I love that, the fire roasted chili with the cheese inside. It's just to me, that's just it's comfort, it's delicious, it's something that I could scarf down any minute of the day. Anyway, any alternatives, ideas for vegan menu? Yeah, usually, I do, vegan mayo. Okay, there's a couple different things. You can do, um, soft tofu blended. That can be vegan mayo substitute. A lot of times I'll use, you basically soft tofu blended with, like, um tomato excuse me, my brain. Soft tofu blended with apple cider vinegar, lemon, salt. You can get a mayo vibe with that, and that's very simple. Also, soaked cashews with, the same situation, and you don't have to worry about and it's all like you can control the saltiness and the acid with and then a lot of times you might use like a Dijon mustard too, that might actually add a little of that kind of mayo vibe to it as well. I also have made mayo from what else? Let me just think about it. But I've actually made it from aquafaba too, but that's a blending of aquafaba and oil. Yeah, soft tofu would be my first choice if you wanted like a high protein, simple way to make vegan mayo. All right. Do you believe Yeti exists? Yes. Yes, I do. And Yeti is vegan. So don't fear the Yeti. All right. Thanks, kids. I'm going now. I'm figuring out how to end my stream. This is the first time I've done it on desktop before. Thank you. See you later. Bye.